Monday, February 23rd in the United States and Canada. Preseason for the NHL. Kind of. Pre the season resuming. And this is a show called What Chaos? Not from the Sports Interaction Studios, but I'll give them a shout out because it's a great studio. Snowed in Boston, Massachusetts. My name is David Bean. I am discussing hockey with Pete Blackburn and also holding it down in that country of champions is Sean DePaz. Sean, I go to you often. I'm going to Pete because you're not snowed in right now. Pete, are you okay? Are you safe?
I'm safe. Gonna shovel again this winter. I'm done. I don't usually mind the snow. I'm fucking done with this shit. Sean, are you
adorable.
not snowed in?
So adorable. No, not really. It was more of an East Coast thing, but the fact that you've had to shovel twice and you're like, I'm done with this shit.
Twice?
To me.
Twice?
You've had two big snowstorms, right?
I had to shovel 3 times during one of the big snowstorms.
Oh, a whole 3 times?
Yeah, brother.
That's adorable. That's like 3 times a day in Buffalo because people in Buffalo know how to deal with snow, and so they don't wait until it stops snowing to shovel. They get a head start on it. Well, I guess, yeah, I don't know exactly what your circumstances, but it's just very funny to me to watch the rest of the country, like, lose their mind. Like, my other friends who live in New York were sending pictures of the snow on cars and stuff, and they're like, oh, it's so pretty. And I'm like, that's literally once a month minimum here.
You shovel 3 times a day and think that's cool?
Not that it's cool. I didn't say it was cool. But it's definitely, like, how you should approach shoveling. Like, if you wait until the snow stops to start shoveling, that's a lack of ball knowledge.
Sean,
I guess before I get
up?
out there, I won't
Sean, are you able to crank up my audio?
No, I'm not.
Fuck. I am going to... How's that? Is that way too loud?
No.
Sounds fine.
Chad is saying that I am severely lacking volume. How's this? I'm going to wait like 5-10 seconds for someone to... hear this and say whether it's gotten better. Check.
Fine. It's definitely louder.
Well, it's not a problem for you two. It's a problem for them. So, all right. They say that is better. Okay. Yes. Congratulations on the fact that you shovel in Buffalo. I did a winner's move, which is parked the car in our garage at the studio and Ubered home last night. So not dealing with that shit. Just sitting it out.
It's not bad. You mean you have like a street parking situation, right?
Street parking, yeah. I live in very like Ben Affleck character town. You know, like people.
It's like all of Boston.
Yeah,
as far as I'm concerned, at least.
But I parked in the studio, called an Uber. Uber drove me back home, and in that car ride, the Uber driver and I were talking about life. Seemed like a cool guy. He was talking about the hockey, saying that he watched the women's hockey and everything, was all excited. And then we got to talking about this country of ours, and I got to say, well, did you see who was in the locker room for the men after they won? And I showed him a video that made that man crazy. He was furious. And I was like, oh yeah, we are 1 for 1 on talking about this. So Pete, tell the folks what's on the show today.
Today on the show, let's discuss
Sheng Peng.
Basking in Glory. Yeah, Sheng Peng is going to join the show and give us his thoughts on Kash Patel. Basking in Glory, quote unquote fun police, winners and losers, and a gas station. Oh, I'm so excited for the gas station video. Last week, we put out a call for a gas station artisanal slop, which is a video that looks like it's AI slop, but is made by a human, but is intentionally designed to look like AI slop. And I am so excited that this one, which I believe comes from Young Gritty, right?
Yes, Young Gritty.
Young Gritty made some artisanal slop. I can't wait to see it.
And it is gourmet. You just cruised past Fun Police. That was a banger.
Fun Police. I don't know what that one is, I suppose. I assumed that it was people policing the quote-unquote fun that was being had post Gold Medal.
No. It's the fucking feds being like, oh, look how cool. I'm on the team, bro. That's the fun. I'm not a regular, like, extreme FBI director. I'm a cool one. I'm not like a regular, like, MAGA puppet. I'm like a fun one. Give me that beer, bro.
King dork. I mean, like, am I jealous that he got to party with Team USA? Definitely. But also, like, brother, you're the director of the FBI. Why the fuck are you there? And, like, also, there's not some big headline case of a missing person that maybe you should be looking into at this point in time. I know that Kash Patel's not, like, headlining the Nancy Guthrie case, but if optically, it's a bad look for you to just be chugging beers with Team USA while
He's
there
a hockey
is
guy.
very famous missing person that you should probably be looking for.
Have we considered that Kash Patel being as far away as possible from the Nancy Guthrie investigation is beneficial for the Nancy Guthrie investigation?
That's
because
fair.
I think there's a high likelihood. I've also started to realize, just in an effort to be like honest with myself, I'm a little bit of a bully. Because, like, I see the video of Kash Patel and I'm like, that guy looks like a loser. Not because of his politics, but, like, because he doesn't know, like, he's uncoordinated and he jumps like a nerd. Like, he looks like a nerd. And I am like, doesn't benefit anybody for me to have that opinion. It is not a good thing to look at somebody and the way they move physically and be like, that guy's a loser. But that's exactly my initial reaction to Kash Patel.
I mean,
Okay.
what I'll say is that if you look at that video and see him celebrating and like drinking and cheering with the team, like, maybe it makes me a mean person, Sean. Maybe it makes me a bully just like you. But I'm just like, that's a kid who was never invited to parties in, like, high school, and we got one chance to go to a party and just completely played it up like
Because he's
an
a
absolute
Republican?
loser. I was like, wait, do we have Frank Cervalli in the waiting room here to defend his guy? No, he's a loser. That guy is a fucking loser.
We're going to have a proper chat about all the post-game stuff, and not to be this guy, the good and the bad. And there's, like, I've said it before, I said it again. I needed the IOC Olympic, like, no posting anything, no video gets shared thing. I needed that to apply off the ice so badly. But now we've got some stuff to talk about and some questions to ask. But USA wins gold in men's and women's. Sorry, Mr. President. And my biggest, like, day after thought, aside from a lot of discourse that's going on right now, is Olympic and international hockey is now the biggest thing in hockey. And that was not a thing 2 years ago. Like, you've always been a World Juniors guy, Pete. I watch World Juniors when I can watch it. I watch Olympics, and I used to watch when NHL players were into it, I would get really into it. But I still cared way more about the Stanley Cup every year than I did about the Olympics. Maybe that's a me thing. But right now, 4 nations, Women's Olympics, Men's Olympics, those last 3 things is just absolutely fucking destroying the NHL in terms of, like, what is the cool hockey thing. And maybe it's because USA just won gold. I'm not mad about it.
Yeah, I mean, also, DJ, sorry, I'm distracted. You don't sound very good anymore. It's, like, overmodulated, and I think Chad is also saying that too. So just
What
go
the
down
fuck?
a notch or two.
All right, I just
it's
took
fine.
it down a little bit.
Okay, yeah, it's fine. Yeah, I mean, international hockey is the best. It truly is. Like, I love the NHL, and I love the NHL so much. International hockey at its best tops everything that the NHL does, especially when it's best on best, because it's just, you got the hockey of it all, but also, like, the national pride of it all. And, like, national pride can go one or two ways, but I really do think that it adds more stakes, it adds more rivalry, it adds more tension, and I'm so high off the Olympics. I still haven't come down. I have a headache this morning, and I think that it's like the past, like, 5-6 days have taken up so much of my brain power and my energy and my emotions and my anxieties that I have, like, an Olympic hockey hangover. And this is not a real hangover. Like, I did not drink much yesterday. I have an Olympic hockey hangover. I believe that it's very physical.
I think part of this. You got to give credit to the Olympics of it all too. Like I think the fact that I don't think it's just the fact that it's best on best international hockey. I think the fact that it's at the Olympics in particular, and it is like part of such a massive global sporting event that makes it feel that much bigger. Like it feels different. Like that, like Four Nations didn't feel different. It obviously was different, but like it still felt like an NHL product. This felt like something separate from the NHL product that we're normally watching, and to me that made it feel even bigger.
Yeah,
Definitely. But I also think that like now that the table's been set by both Four Nations and the Olympics, I would be disappointed if the World Cup of Hockey didn't give me similar sort of excitement and feelings. And the USA-Canada rivalry is in such a good place. It is delivered
100%.
each of the last 3 times to an extraordinary degree. And so the table is set for World Cup of Hockey and anywhere else that they meet in an international forum moving forward.
Yeah, World Cup of Hockey is going to be amazing. And everybody, I'm sorry to do this. Like, please let me know if the mic thing, we weren't able to figure it out before. I am wearing headphones. Someone who said put on headphones. I am wearing headphones. But let me know if this all sounds better. It's going to be made so much better by the fact that USA finally fucking won. That this is a rivalry with 2 participants, and that obviously like USA has won at the World Junior level, but that Canada now has to come back and avenge what just happened, because this is, we talked about yesterday, like this is how you want it to kind of start if you're USA establishing yourself as like the hockey country. It's not going to come by just coming out and flat out smoking them. It's going to come by barely hanging on and knowing that Canada's going to come back harder next time. It was awesome. It was an amazing game. We're going to continue to have thoughts on it. It's Jesus fucking Christ. I don't know if chat's fucking with me, but they're saying that I'm too quiet again. We gotta, sorry, last time this happens, before we do anything remote again, we are going to make sure there is a way that we can have the 3 of us and you can physically see the levels and we can all have that work. Anyway, gonna try to get through it. People say it's, keep us posted. Post-game stuff. On ice moments were great. Austin Matthews with the American flag. Sean, do you have that? There were a lot of, like, we saw a lot of the pictures of Jack Hughes and they were amazing. I love this picture of Austin Matthews. Just the hair, what of it is there is the flag just waving, the gold medal around his neck. You can't tell that man shit, and I absolutely love it for him. And then Zach Werenski with Johnny Gaudreau Jr. Players brought out Johnny Gaudreau's kids. They put his jersey in the team photo. It was amazing. Lot of good stuff on the ice. Yeah, that's my favorite picture. Look at that smile. Look at both smiles. Amazing. Love it. Love it for Zach Werenski, an absolute gem of a person. So happy for him, because every time there is an international tournament, we get to talk about how good Zach Werenski is, and I love it.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big takeaway here. Zach Werenski, I've seen him get a lot of flowers. I think that, like, the Hellebuck getting his redemption, Jack Hughes getting his redemption in certain ways from Four Nations, like, all of this has been awesome from a hockey standpoint and from a narrative standpoint. And, like, I don't know if anybody has really, like, gotten cooked from the Team USA side. Like, who's... I know they won gold, so it's hard to, like, really point any negatives, but what sort of, like, disappointment have you seen pointed at anybody on America's side? Mike Sullivan?
No, because again, like, those questions come into play when you lose, and not that everything that Mike Sullivan or Bill Guerin did ended up being particularly genius, but some of it did. Like, this tournament, you've said a couple of times, could have been over via a Cole Caulfield goal earlier, but they fucking won, so proof's in the pudding, it works. They also didn't bury Jack Hughes after what happened at Four Nations. Like, there are people that incorrect people, but people who wanted Jack Hughes off the roster for this tournament because he was such a dud in Four Nations, and you let him earn his keep, and they still were a little cautious about him in the gold medal game. They played him a little more as the game went on, but they were careful about Jack Hughes up to that point, and they were careful about Tage Thompson, who was still really good in that game, but it all paid off. It all worked.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Now, let's talk about the locker room. They people, by the way, seeing a lot of social media comments. You gonna talk about this? You gonna address that Kash Patel was there? So you're not gonna say anything about
When
what
did we
Donald
become
Trump
the
said?
addressing things podcast?
First of all, I have been doing in my own life. I've been doing care to discuss. You remember that? That was a big thing in like 2015. I love care to discuss. I've been doing that a lot more. Like a dish is left out.
I don't want to be the
come on the pod.
Will you guys
this.
address podcast?
Yeah.
Please.
But there were people, maybe new people, that were like, this ridiculous thing happened or this bad thing happened. I bet are you not gonna talk about how Donald Trump took a great hockey moment and made it a weird sexist thing? Yes, I think that we will have time in the show to get to that. We are not protecting that man, but thank you very much. As I said, the on ice moments, good stuff. Then they went to the locker room where, they're singing Toby Keith, courtesy of the Red, White, and Blue. I get it. Is that my favorite song? No, but it's a big USA thing and they're all standing around and they're kind of feeling it. And I'm like, yeah, political differences I can kind of wrap my head around, but whatever. They're singing a song. Okay. They're playing Chicago, which was really cool to me. The video of Dylan Larkin where he's going around the room, the song that's playing, I know that fucking song, but I know a lot of the people watching that video are like, what the fuck are they listening to? So good on them there. Sean, do you have the Dylan Larkin video?
Yes, I do.
Hit me.
Oh, baby! Oh, we're live.
The song is called Question 67 68,
Let's go!
and
Pretty
then
good!
there's fucking Kash Patel.
Oh, the sport of hockey, baby!
My favorite part, right there. Jeremy Swayman's a legend.
Let's fucking go!
All right, we can come back. All right, that's a great song.
I love Jeremy Swayman.
Jeremy
But
Swayman just
Swayman
yelling,
just
"I'm
standing
gonna
there, he's
come."
like,
Which,
my line for today is I'm gonna come.
and spoiler alert, not the last time we're going to hear him say that. I don't know if
He
you
was very
realize
excited
that.
to say it again. No. I saw it, and
He has a quick refractory period. Shout out to Jeremy Swayman.
Yeah. So we see that and we're like, oh, Kash Patel's in there. Okay, we're gonna, like, I tweeted right away. I was like, well, I guess we got some material for tomorrow. Do you have the more spicy Kash Patel video, Sean?
I believe I do.
Hit me. All right. Happy for all these players. I fucking rooted for them heavily. I like so many of them personally, et cetera, et cetera. Someone's got to say Kash Patel can't come in. Someone's got to say, Kash, they're going to meet up with you later. Someone like the Florida Panthers kicked RA out of the room when they were celebrating the Stanley Cup. So you're allowed to say, hey, it's kind of a closed party right now. Because I was really seeing like only players and staff and Kash Patel. Someone needs to say no or not right now because, and I'm going to say something that a lot of people with different political views from me say, you don't need to make everything political. This is not a moment that needed to be political. And so many people cry, get mad when something is made political. When you bring the literal FBI director who is viewed widely, globally, as a like MAGA puppet for the White House, who is accused and thought to be protecting criminals in the government, then we have to fucking talk about that guy's there, and then it becomes political. So I will say, I didn't want any of this. I don't want to be talking about this. I didn't want to see this because I did not want this to exist. I'll say it again. You don't need to make everything political, and I feel bad for people in that room who probably didn't know who the fuck that man was.
Yeah,
Because I bet, because there's a lot of, sorry, let me finish. There's a lot of like, thank you, Mr. President, and Cal, and let's put, and like, we know who's doing that, okay? But there are a lot of people, and we're going to talk about the Trump call in a second. Like, there are some people that I saw, people that I like, just kind of standing there holding their beer, being like, how long until this is over? And because those people are put in that moment, and obviously they seem like a silent minority there, you don't have to do any of it. You don't have to, like, it's one thing. I understand, like, the president is going to call the team that wins gold medal for pretty much any country. So, like, a call was going to happen there, and we will talk about the parts of the call that obviously were fucking stupid and bad and shouldn't have happened. But this Kash Patel thing, man, that was avoidable.
Definitely avoidable. And like, I agree with everything you said. I don't want to be fucking talking about this, but there wasn't a second in my brain that I was like, we can avoid this, because he's not a background character in the scene. He is a main character in the celebration of Team USA moments after they won their first fucking gold medal in 46 years. The hockey team is the main event here. It should not be a fucking Fed. Like, it is insane that this happened. And I would love, like, I'm not going to be like, this ruins the moment for me. I just wish that it didn't fucking happen. I wish that he wasn't there. I wish that the don't make things political crowd is like, you can't have anything to say here, because this has been made political, and that it just changed the conversation, and it puts a lot of people in awkward positions who don't necessarily align in that locker room with some of the views and the side that Kash Patel is on. And like, with where we're at right now as a country, and so divided and so polarized, to then immediately turn and invite somebody in that sort of pushes it into one corner is such a bad decision. Such a bad decision.
I'm going to give, and I don't know, call me a coward, call me a hockey whatever, call me a men protecting men. You said invite somebody in, and I know that Kash, who is tweeting through it, legit hockey guy, but legitimately tweeting through it, was saying, my friends invited me to this thing. I see nothing wrong with it. And I will also say, like, as for the, like, he's using government dollars to do this, whatever, everyone's different. I don't care about that. Like, I'm not going to get as worked up about that, because that's going to be something that I'm not going to be able to prove, because he can say, I needed to be in Italy for whatever reason. If you've seen one battle after another, Lockjaw says, hey, we got to go to this town. Basically, find me an excuse to be in this town. And while I'm in this town, I'm going to do my own personal bidding. So I'm not going to focus as much on the, like, he's using government dollars thing. I'm more using it, focusing on whether he was invited or whether he asked, can I come? Didn't need to happen. Shouldn't have done it.
And there's like people saying, well, he's a legit hockey guy. Frank Barley voice.
Yeah, Sean, you are.
Guy's a legit hockey guy.
Yeah.
there's some people saying
50%.
Let me finish. There are people that are saying, like, he's a hockey guy. He's friends with these guys. That's fine. That's fine. Celebrate with him after. He's not part of the team, and he's the FBI director. He has a job to do, and he has a position to hold that has some sort of decorum and some sort of professionalism attached to it. And unfortunately, like, I feel like just the government is full of people who now take very serious government jobs that should have certain levels of decorum and levels of professionalism attached to them, and they just throw that aspect of the job in the trash to go party with their boys and to do whatever the fuck they want in front of a camera or in front of a crowd or whatever. And I'm not the biggest, like, oh, be a professional, do your job, blah, blah, blah. You can't have a personality. You can't be loose, but you also can't be a fucking moron and a fucking dork and insert yourself into the Team USA's gold celebration and make the conversation political immediately because you want to go party with the boys right after they win a gold medal. It's just like, it sucks. It fucking sucks, man.
Pete, can I ask you a question? If the Boston Bruins won the Stanley Cup and we were there, okay, we're on the ice and we're seeing all the people and we're talking to the players and they're like, hey, like, come on, like, back into the room or whatever. And you get back there and you're like, it's just kind of the Bruins and me right now. And they're like, get over here, drink from the cup and everything. Like, are you even going to be like, let Swayman drink from it first, man? Like, I don't want to be part of it. And you're fucking, respectfully, you're but a podcaster. Like,
right.
I feel like you wouldn't want to make that about you.
No, like, it's so uncomfortable that you just get in there and make it about you. Like, how much fucking ice time did you log, Kash Patel? How many goals did you score? Why are you the one going the fucking hardest in this celebration? You are a fucking dork, man. Get the fuck out of here.
Sean, you've been quiet.
No, I mean, I agree with most of what you guys have said. I think apparently, like, he said he was invited. Yes. I believe that. I will say, well, first off, I miss a time when I didn't know who the FBI director was because that was most of my life. Secondly, like, I guess I'll give guys a certain amount of like, benefit of the doubt. Like, this, even though I think he's a useful idiot to the Republicans and is not, like, really running the FBI, it is still, like, the biggest cop in the world, and I have a somewhat like healthy / unhealthy fear of police / respect for authority. So, like, if the FBI director is saying I'm coming in, who am I to be like, no, you are not, when that guy can fuck up my entire life? And also, I'm a drunk 20-some-year-old who, like, doesn't know what's going on anyway. So, like, I'm not, like, holding, I guess, his presence there necessarily against the players. I can totally see how that happens kind of, like, naturally, like, especially because, like, we know who the Kachucks are. We know what they believe. So they're going to see that guy when they've pounded 5 miniature Coronas in the last 30 seconds and be like, fucking come on in here, brother. Like, fucking whatever, dude. I'm not surprised by an ounce of that. My only real reaction to all of this is, like, Kash Patel, you're a fucking nerd. Like, that guy you're not cool. Because, like, I can even acknowledge with Donald Trump, especially when he first got elected, like, there was a charisma to him that people respected. They appreciate the fact that he says what he believes. He doesn't give a fuck. He's going to call Ted Cruz's wife ugly to his face and then make that guy work for him later on. Like, I understand how people get to a place where they respect that, even though I think it's fucking ridiculous. I don't understand how these cool, like, I don't want to say objectively, but, like, these guys are pro athletes who just won the biggest prize in international sports. Like, those are cool guys. How do they respect this fucking loser? Like, why do they want to be associated with this guy who is a guy that most of these guys would have bullied in high school? Like, that's the thing that drives me crazy is, like, you guys are cool. Like, it should be it's cool to me that, like, I have such, especially when I was a kid, like, such a reverence for athletes. These guys are cool to me. And you're hanging out with losers. Like,
and again, it's like, I feel like nobody wants sports to be detached from politics as much as athletes do. And, like, whenever they're asked about politics, they give, like, these nothing burger answers most of the time just so that they can, like, stay away from it. And then the second that they have the biggest accomplishment of their athletic lives, they invite a guy in who inherently makes the conversation turn political and puts them in a place where they don't want to be. So, like, while I don't necessarily, like, lump all of these guys into the same bucket and say, like, oh, they're all inherently bad and they're all inherently stupid and evil or whatever, like, I don't want this to be attached to the players and, like, on an individual level, but they made a mistake here and they kind of have to, they're going to have to reap what you sow when you invite somebody in that instantly turns what should be a sports celebration into a sports celebration with a main political figure that is going to turn the conversation political.
The problem is they're not going to have to reap what they sow. This happens all the time. Like, political stuff will happen. They'll ask them about it, like, I'm sticking to hockey. And then everyone moves on. And that's the thing that ultimately, like, why I don't I don't want to say I don't care about any of this stuff, but like I don't have the 2 weeks from now, no one's going to give a shit about any of this because another crazy thing is going to happen. Another American citizen's going to get fucking murdered in the middle of the street, and we're going to be like, and I guess that's ultimately my thing is like, I don't give a fuck if the FBI director's drinking beer with hockey players. Like, there's actual bad things that are happening in the world, and like, it's not that this is good. And also, I'll say this, like, and I don't mean this like derogatory. I guess it, but like, a lot of athletes are dumb people. Like, they're genuinely, like, they don't pay attention to what's going on in the world. They are deeply ingrained in the sport that they play, and that's all they pay attention to.
I wouldn't
like,
say dumb. I'd say hyper-focused.
Yeah, like, I mean, well, I think there's a lot of dumb people, too. Like, I think...
For sure.
I think there are people like...
in every
I
field.
think there are people who know who he is and don't care, and I think those are dumb people. But, like... Yeah, I don't think that this is, like, necessarily a reflection on every single one of the players on this team or anything like that. But it's just, like... And I think there is, for a lot of these, like, that's the thing that I think people struggle to understand is, like, most people don't care. Like, the majority of people in this country don't vote. Like, people don't care or know what is going on. So, like, I think there is a very real scenario in which it doesn't even, like, we're intelligent people. It all makes sense to us. But I think for a lot of these guys who didn't even really go to high school, like, don't... Like, it doesn't even comprehend with them. And I don't think there's an excuse for them, but it is just the reality. Like, it does not comprehend with them that this is a thing. This is just a guy who's in the government, and, like Donald Trump is the president, and it doesn't mean anything to them beyond, like, those are titles that are supposed to mean something. And it's ridiculous, and it's unfortunate, but, like, I don't know. It's all just fucking bullshit. It's all stupid.
Yeah, I don't want to stay on this too much longer, but I will say, like, for me, like, I'm not dumb enough to think that politics is not involved in sports. Like, it obviously is. It is. Everything is politics. Everything across the board is fucking politics. But as a diehard sports fan, I view sports as a method of, like, escapism. And, like, I like for sports to be a way for me to get away from all of the shit that is happening, whether it's in my personal life, whether it's in like the world. And I know it's getting harder and harder with that shit, but it's a form of escapism for me. And so when something like this happens and it's such a high and such an incredible moment and such a big, like, this is the biggest hockey game that I've ever fucking seen in my life. And we come out on the winning side, and it's just such an incredible moment. And again, I'm not letting this ruin it, but it is so disappointing that immediately politics gets inserted into it, and you can't escape it. And that's where the discussion is, like, becoming a main talking point, and you can't fucking escape it. And that part really sucks. That part really sucks.
I'm on board with everything that everybody said. I am sad for how much I agree with Sean. This is not a political whatever podcast or whatever, but, like, I think that Sean hit on a lot of things that's, like, ultimately that guy, like, for me to trust that guy could be having some sort of positive impact if he's not there would be very, very ignorant and naive. But ultimately, I go back to what Sean was saying, which is these guys are the biggest winners in the world on this day. And the first thing that happens is you have to party with the fucking feds and, like, a guy who is widely seen as a huge fucking loser. Even take away how sad that might make you, that is very fucking hilarious. If it weren't so sad. All right. The Donald Trump call. Trump calls them after, and again, I will say, my world was not rocked when I heard Donald Trump called the team afterwards and spoke to them, because
sorry, I'm laughing at Ukko Pekka Wokanen for anybody listening
Chat's
on
great.
audio.
Chat's great right
Sorry.
But yes, the president of whatever country is going to probably call the gold medal winners. Yeah. Yes, like, we all think that.
Yeah.
Like, we're not surprised by that. Okay, no. Saw the video floating around there, and I'm watching it, and personally getting a little icked out by how much, like, I think people wanted to some of the people in that room wanted to lick the fucking phone, like wanted to lick the speakerphone because they were so fucking happy to be hearing any words from this guy. But whatever, I'll take that out of it too. Then it gets to him inviting the team to the State of the Union and then saying you can come to the White House as well. And Sean, you have the clip, right?
Yes.
We will play the clip so we cannot be accused of twisting any words, because I had such a fucking reaction to this. Texted you guys right away, ran into the other room, showed my girlfriend, like, I'm not losing my fucking mind here, right? Play the clip, Sean.
I just told my people 2 minutes ago, I didn't know they'd be calling. I said, we're giving the State of the Union speech on Tuesday night. I could send a military plane or something, but if you would like to, it's the coolest night, it's the biggest. We're in. Yeah.
Can you pick us up in Miami on Tuesday morning? Yeah, Tuesday morning.
Close the northern border. We'll get cash and we'll get the military to get you guys over. Okay.
Let's go.
Boys are going to the State of the Union. The White House, the next thing, we'll just have some fun. We have medals for you guys. And we have to, I must tell you, we're going to have to bring the women's team. You do know that. Absolutely. I do believe I probably would be impeached, okay?
Okay, we're going to get accused of pearl clutching by somebody, but I'll read back again. And we have to, I must tell you, we're going to have to bring the women's team. You do know that. I think if we don't do that, I do believe I would be impeached. I talked to Sean about this morning, Pete, and I made the mistake of saying, like, I can't believe it. And then Sean fucking proceeded to smoke my ass for being like, how the fuck did you not believe that?
I didn't say it that aggressively, but
You said
I also
I
didn't. Don't put words in my mouth. I didn't say I can't believe it. I said that was the most egregious part of the entire post celebration for me.
No, I said that. I said
You said
I can't
me and
believe
Pete
it.
both said I can't believe it, but that's fine. I said I can't. That was the most egregious thing because it was just like you're acting like it's like a burden to invite the women who also fucking dominated and had a perfect tournament, and like also I don't want to like. I hate like analyzing a split-second reaction, but the amount of laughter that got from the group was a little disappointing. I'll say that. Like the guys who have like vehemently praised and like lauded the performances of the women's players who like had a cleaner run to their gold medal. Not that really matters, but like just the amount of laughter that came from like him being like, I guess I have to invite the women too. That's such a fucking weird thing to say and so unnecessary, and the laughter was weird.
Yeah, the laughter, you can, whether or not you want to, you could chalk it up to people who like this guy. He said something, they laughed, and in the moment after being like, maybe I shouldn't fucking laugh at that, they're drinking beers, etc. Again, like, whole thing fucking sucks. Absolutely hated it. How was Trump drunk when he said that? Like, that was just like his fucking baseline to say that.
Yeah, I mean, somebody in the chat says, I hope that they didn't understand what he was saying. We can hope that was the case.
I will say, in someone's defense, I don't know who did it, but like there were a couple of voices in there that were like, yeah, when he said like we have to, and someone yelled like 2 for 2. So I think they kind of took it. Like, I've done this before where, not with anything like offensive or whatever, but like if we're talking and you start to take something down a road that I don't want to go down, and I'm like, oh, if I say this, it kind of agrees with you and it curves it towards this kind of thing. We've all done that in conversation before, especially when speaking publicly and you're like, I just don't want to go to the wrong place here. Some guys I did hear being like, oh yeah, like 2 for 2, being like, oh yeah, you mentioned the women. Yeah, the women won as well. But that's not what that man was saying. That man was saying like, hey, sorry to ruin the fun boys, but, or at least that's how I heard it. Sorry to ruin the fun boys, but the girls have to come too.
Yep, that's pretty much the only way to read it from Trump's end. And like, I'll give some sort of leeway to just like uncomfortable laughter or just like not really understanding, but There was a lot of laughs and didn't love it.
I mean, there's obviously, like I said, we know who the Kachucks are. Like, we know that there's guys on this team. We know that, like, I know Tage Thompson has posted pictures of Donald Trump on his Instagram story. Like, I know who these guys are. I think there's, like, something to be said. Like, people aren't going to want to hear this. But, like, I think the reality is that, like, especially for guys who have spent their entire lives in team sports, it's hard to underestimate, like, the peer pressure that guys feel in those situations. And, like, in certain ways, I think it's difficult to expect somebody to be like, the president's on the phone, and to speak up and be like, I didn't like that. Like, that's not the reality of how most people operate in those situations. So, like, there are obviously, like, we know that the Kachucks don't give a shit about negative stuff that Donald Trump has said. Like, that is what it is. But, like, yeah, I mean, like what you said, like, I'm not surprised by an ounce of this. This isn't even in the top 50 worst things he said about women over the 8 or what? Jesus Christ. Said 8 years he spent as president. It's been 5. Like, Jesus. Feels like 20. Like, but yeah, I mean, it just, like, is outrageous, obviously. But yeah, I mean, it's just like, it doesn't, not an ounce of this surprises me. And, like, there's a lot of people who are just like, he made a joke. And first off, if it's a joke, me personally don't think it's a very funny one. And secondly, it wasn't a joke when he talked about grabbing women by the pussy. Like, that wasn't a joke. He said that when he didn't know he was being recorded. Like, he said a lot of, we know what he represents. But I'll say this too. Like, if I had worked my entire life to be a gold medalist, it sucks that if you don't agree with Donald Trump's politics and stuff like that, it sucks that you have to get this stuff taken from, like, theoretically, like, if you're going to stand on it and be like, I'm not going to, it's such bullshit that these guys, that, like, me personally, if I had done that, I'd want to go to the White House. Like, it sucks that I have to not do that now because a fucking evil rapist fascist is in the White House. Like, that's outrage. That sucks. And I feel bad for those guys, I guess. But at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, man, like, the victims in all of this are the fucking women. And it's like the hockey team. Those women worked their entire lives for this shit too. They're, in the context of their sport, I know people are going to be like, oh, not real hockey. In the context of their sport, they're better than the men are. That's just an objective fact. They did their job better than the men did their job, and they both won gold, so it is what it is. But, like, that sucks. And it sucks for those women now, too, that they either have to be, like, I'm sure a lot of them grew up wanting to go to the White House, too. And also, I'm sure that there's women on that team who don't give a shit about this as well. Like, I don't think it's fair to just assume that all women are going to be like, that sucks. Because there's not. There's fucking women in that administration.
There's, like, MAGA people on any Olympic team.
But, like, it just is unfortunate that, like, all of the, like, the stuff that people, like, I don't know, I want to go to the White House. I want to meet the president. Like, not this president necessarily, but the idea of meeting the most powerful person in the world, like, that's cool as shit. And all of that stuff gets ruined now. And now people that aren't qualified to be political are being political. Like I said, I don't think people realize this. That, like, not only do not most college people go to college, let alone graduate college, most of them don't even go to high school. Like, the high school that a lot of these kids go through when they're playing juniors is barely school. So, like, they are, I'm not going to call them stupid, but woefully uneducated. And, like, I don't know. I just have gotten to a point as a black man in America where, like, I don't have the energy to, like, get, even though I guess I'm a little worked up now, like, I don't have the energy to get, like, actively upset about every single evil fucking thing that this guy does, because he does something evil every fucking day. We're about to go to war with Iran. We're about to go to fucking war. So, like, I don't know. It's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. I can't wait. Like, I hope this country survives all of it. And in 10, 20 years, none of this is really the way things operate, but it is. It just all sucks. And I don't know. I'm tired of it.
Yeah, but that's kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier, where it's like you can be ignorant, and you can try to be ignorant, and like you can try to not let it consume every part of your energy, and you have your little pockets where you escape from like the shit, and you can still be informed on it. But when it finds its way into the areas that you try to stay safe from, like this fucking bullshit, and it finds its way to you, and you can't avoid it, and it attaches itself to the things that you really like and you really enjoy and the things that keep you sane, that's what drives me fucking crazy, man, is that like we can't have fucking anything anymore because it just fucking makes its way and poisons everything that you enjoy. It fucking sucks.
Also, I need to know who said close the northern border, because that's just like my thing with people who try to make jokes is make an original one. Like, for the love of God, and I know I'm going to be preaching to the choir here a little bit, but like that's the thing that always drives me crazy with fucking short jokes. Is like, I promise you that short person has heard that 3 million times. It's like,
That's right.
51st state, 51st state. You're the 80th person to make that joke. Maybe you're a funny person. You're not being funny right now because that's not original. I've heard it before. And like at one point, Connor Hellebuck calls Donald Trump dad. And like I'm going to give these guys a certain amount of leeway for just being drunk 20-year-olds. Like that is what it is. But like, I don't know, man. I think if you find any of that shit funny, you're just not a funny person. Like, not even that it's offensive. It's not like, there's plenty of offensive jokes that are funny. That's not one of them. So like, I don't know. Get a fucking grip, I guess.
All right, Sean. Pete's been my best friend and brother, whatever you want to call it. Like we're like all kind of the same thing. The last podcast that we had basically used to just be Pete and I taking turns saying the exact same thing. We would see a movie, feel the exact same way about it, make the exact same jokes, laugh, and that's why I love Pete. Like I know that he thinks the right things, and I love him for that. What's like a cool way of saying I'm proud of you? What's a cool way of saying like what's a cool way of saying it makes me so happy that we do this show with you and that you produce this show? Because I feel bad that I believe for the first time, I'm going to make you make a social clip of yourself because your reaction to that call was, I think, pretty bulletproof. And I mean, people will find a reason as to why you're a woke lib for saying it or whatever. But
I am a woke lib. I am. Like, I care about people. I don't want bad things to happen to marginalized. Like, I don't want that. And that's the thing that gets me. Bomani Jones once said it. Democrats are evil, Republicans are evil, but only one party is actively making it harder for you to vote. Like, I don't ultimately, at the end of the day, don't give too much of a shit about who's good and who's bad. I care about how it affects I hardly care how it affects me. I care how it affects the masses, how it affects people that are disadvantaged, because I have a fucking heart. Sue me. I'm a woke lib, and I don't find your dumb fucking jokes funny. And I, more importantly, don't give a solitary shit what you think. You're a goddamn bootlicker who, like, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. There's people in the chat calling me woke, calling me stupid, calling me I don't give a fuck. I don't give a solitary fuck. I think at the end of the day, people that disagree with me on this stuff are dumb. You're a stupid person. I think you're stupid. You could think I'm stupid, but I don't give a shit about your opinion. And the fact that you're in this chat or on Twitter saying that I'm stupid means that you clearly give a fuck about mine. I wouldn't watch your goddamn podcast, and you're here watching ours. So go fuck yourself.
Fuck yeah, Sean.
Oh my God. What's
the end of the day, like, your fucking political party, whether it's Democratic or whether it's Republican, should not be your fucking sports team. You should not root for that party like it's your undying loyalty, like you have it coursing through your veins. The way that you support your party should be based off of what they do for you and what they do for the country. And my God, if you are fucking loving what's happening across the board right now, I think that says a lot more about you than it says about fucking your party, about fucking anything else. You don't have to be encamped in your side of things. You don't have to root for them when they're fucking down. You really don't. You should be rooting for the benefit. That's what sports are for.
Like, I have to pretend Stan Bowman is doing smart shit because my dumb fucking brain likes all this fucking Oilers shit I have around here so goddamn much. Do you know how stupid that is? I say it all the time. What do we say? Fandom is by definition irrational. That's where we do it for sports. And is it stupid? Of course.
Yeah, but that's why it
I
rocks.
don't think I harm anybody when I'm like,
That's
you know what? Like,
I say
Evan
that shit
Bouchard
all
is
the
a top
time.
2 defensemen in the NHL. No one's getting hurt there.
I say it all the time. The reason I love sports is because they don't fucking matter. You get to tap into that inherently tribal part of human nature, stand on something, and that's why I like. They're in the context of this tournament. Like I call Canadians bums. I say that I fucking hate Canada because that's fun. That's what sports are about. But then someone will be like, I fucking hate Canada. They should become the 51st state. It's like, okay, you're stupid. You're a dumb person because that joke's not funny, and it's not like it doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, but yeah, sports are awesome because you get to get worked up about it. You get to call people idiots, and then at the end of the day, Sabres haven't won a goddamn thing in my entire lifetime. It doesn't fucking matter. It does not matter. Like, I'm still gonna wake up tomorrow and pay taxes, and like have to deal with the real world. So like. Yeah, it doesn't matter as long as it doesn't bleed into things that do fucking matter, like it's happened here. It's all outrageous.
Okay, Sean, as this is now your show, Pete and I are producing, and I just did a little crunching on that thing that you said about the Sabres haven't won in your lifetime, and unfortunately can confirm. So thank you for that information. I googled Sabres lost Stanley Cup because I wanted to find like some moments, and it gave me Sabres last Stanley Cup and then corrected me saying the Buffalo Sabres have never won the Stanley Cup.
Can confirm. Hasn't happened.
Owned by AI Overview. Okay, boys, this has been a very fun conversation. We do have more things to say here, but Sean, like, really, and Pete, like, but Sean, the chat is going nuts for you, and I'm sure that there are people who aren't going nuts for you. But
respectfully, I love our chat so much,
Here he
but like
goes.
I was saying, I don't give a shit. My views are not for a single ounce of approval. They're the views because I firmly believe they're the right ones. So I appreciate all the people in the chat that are saying that I'm awesome, and I appreciate the people that are calling me buffoons. As somebody just like, I appreciate all of you because you mean like your opinions on what I believe mean the exact same thing to me, which is nothing. Respectfully, I appreciate the people that agree with me, but it doesn't change a goddamn thing for me.
Sean said, "I don't think about you at all. Any of you, you don't exist." To
I
me.
love our
love you, but
our
you don't
whatnots.
exist to me.
I love our whatnots, but their opinion on me or what I believe like doesn't matter. I appreciate their opinions on like the show looking good because that's what we do the show for, is the audience. Like that means something to me. But if you're gonna call me, if you're gonna be racist, if you're gonna say that I'm stupid, if you're gonna say that I'm right, I don't mean anything. It rolls off my back one way or the other.
this is the biggest win for Sean because the show began with we can't hear all of the hosts on this podcast, and 54 minutes into it, it's like, this producer is the most perfect. And granted, the audio thing is a lot on my end, but just like enormous day for Sean. We love you. Good conversation. I didn't know how all this was going to go. We talked about it before. We were like, look, like we probably don't want to do the whole thing on explaining that we don't like Trump and Kash Patel because our audience already knows that. But 54 minutes in, we've hit a lot of things, and Sean, you just oh god, see, Sean doesn't care. Someone said, Sean, you idiot, you fucked up the audio.
No,
Sean
that I
does
do
not
care
fucking
about.
Care, and he
No.
does not take that advice.
That I do
He does
care
not take
about
that
because we do
feedback.
the show. We do the show for the audience. Like without the. That's why I like in sports when people are like, the fans shouldn't criticize athletes. It's like, no, because they don't have jobs without the fans. Like it all comes back to the fans at the end of the day. So if you're gonna have opinions on the show, sure. Opinions on my political beliefs, you can go fuck yourself one way or the other.
Every time there's been like a couple of moments where like we can kind of pivot off it, but I'll throw back in and everyone's happy with Sean. Of course, a couple of people aren't, and Sean's like, well, allow me to fucking say to those couple of people, I'm gonna fucking let's see. If you like Sean and if you like our show, there's a lot of people watching, which is wonderful because we're snowed in here. There's a blizzard in Massachusetts, and remote shows, they can be fun, they can be hit or miss, they can be whatever, but we like that a lot of people are here and seemingly haven't left, so please make sure that you like this video. Also, subscribe if you have not yet. Now the chat has gotten back to normal, accusing Pete of having his wife Ellen shovel, which
I think that's Ellen.
I want to
Pete.
say that's not chat. That's my fucking wife.
Yeah,
Ellen,
that's from
accusing me of
Fleming.
lying, and she is on her computer chatting that she is being forced to shovel, and I can confirm she is not in my fucking driveway shoveling. And if she were, it was just be because I'm at work. I'm at work. Get a life.
get a
Get a life.
All right. I enjoyed you on your speakerphone call yesterday, Pete. Telling the woman, I'm working. What are you doing? Let's do a little. We still have a lot more shenanigans to get to, and I hate that what we were just talking about, I just considered shenanigans. Mikko Rantanen missed the bronze medal game after getting hurt in the semifinal against Canada. Elliot Friedman on 32 Thoughts today says, I don't believe it's season ending, but he's going to miss some time. And so it begins. I feel like we've already said, and so it begins with this, but we've all kind of been waiting for, once the Olympics are over, we're going to start hearing some shit. And Elliot kind of teased that. He was like, like people are backing out of the Olympics with injury, but a lot of them aren't. And this schedule has not been nice early on in the season. Guys are playing hurt. So Rantanen's a big one. He's kind of one of the best players in the world.
Yeah, huge one. And I mean, like, especially when you're talking about that Central Division race, that three-headed monster. If the Dallas Stars don't have Rantanen, he's been like their engine this season. That's a tough one. They might finish in third.
Eileen has been
dear
having
Eileen
such a tough
says-
time.
Yes.
because-
I mean, talking about politics.
Not even that, but
Eileen
like yesterday.
always finds a way to crash out.
Yeah,
Always
yesterday on
finds
Twitter.
a way.
Yesterday on Twitter, I saw her being like, "I'm happy we won, but also Jason Robertson should have been on that team." And I'm like, Eileen, enjoy it for a second. Come on.
No. Eileen said in before it got political, I hate this already. Jason Robertson should be there.
Eyes on the prize. Do not lose focus ever, Eileen. Jeff Merrick on DFO Rundown yesterday speculated about the health of Panthers players. Here's where it gets interesting. We talked about Matthew Tkachuk and how he came back so he could play in the Olympics. And I will say, I looked at Matthew Tkachuk's numbers in the tournament after yesterday, and I was like, he didn't score, but he did have, and like, I don't know if they were all primary assists. He did have 6 assists. So I will say, while we're talking about the Tkachuk experience, you can do whatever you want when you win. The Two Brothers podcast, what's it called? The Wingmen podcast, put out the graphic of a bride and a bunch of bridesmaids, and the bride was the United States, and all the bridesmaids were Canada, except for one that was German. And like, huge dork behavior. Those guys, or not those guys, but McDavid literally beat you last year in an international thing. Like, you still get to go at Leon. If like, I didn't think like the Leon throw in is kind of funny that they're like, yeah, we put this joke out there and people were kind of mixed on it. We've decided we're doing it again.
I mean, I was going to say, if anybody can't like turn down committing to a bad bit, it's you. So like, this should be your favorite thing. I also do. I think if you're Leon, you're like, wow, you're fucking obsessed with me, bro.
Oh yeah,
like,
I was going to quote tweet it with like rent free, but then I was like, I'm fucking American. Why are you guys doing this? Why are you making it so I have to be like bad one important player on Team USA?
I enjoy what the Tkachuks bring to hockey in the context of hockey. I enjoy the shit talking. I liked the never a bridesmaid or never a bride, always bridesmaid comment to Leon Draisaitl because it works. Leon has in every instance come second at best to Matthew Tkachuk. My thing, jokes are best when they're based in some kind of truth. Like you said, not only just in Four Nations, but like Canada has been the bride almost every single fucking Olympics. So you can't say always, never the bride, always the bride. They're almost always the bride. Meanwhile, Germany just started getting invited to weddings. They weren't bridesmaids. They just started being a part of this. So like the joke doesn't make sense. That's my big issue with it.
And they're not even allowed to to wear their like official suits, their groomsmen suits to the wedding, because there's been some issues with their suits in the past.
That's so, just like I want the jokes to be good. I can acknowledge when jokes, like even if, like I said earlier, even if they're offensive, I can acknowledge a funny joke if it's actually funny. But it's like I get that I'm also like a little bit too literal sometimes, and I'm just like, I look at that, I'm just like, it's not true though. It just isn't true, and so it's not funny.
I want to root for the Kachucks so bad, man.
Same.
Like, I do. Like
I
they're
do.
so good
Like
for
I do
hockey.
root for the
I'm with
Kachucks.
Sean on the like what they bring to hockey and what they bring to USA hockey, that they
Yeah.
bring like
Yes. So
this-
needed.
whatever the fuck it is that they're bringing on the ice. They like, we will play harder than you, and so much of that is like, you can't always measure it and everything, but if that's your whole identity, a team can get behind that, you know?
Because
I
USA is
like all that
not
shit.
going to match the talent that Canada has and produces. Like, it's still a ways away. They're closing the gap in terms of how good the USA program is, but they're still not going to match the talent that Canada produces year in and year out. So you need some fucking psychos who don't really care about that and have such miswired brains or wired hockey brains that allow them to close the gap with just some psychopathic shit.
Not
So
even
I
Canada.
absolutely need that from the Kachucks, and I love what they bring. I just wish that they made it a little easier to root for them.
In the Olympics, we probably would have lost a group stage match if it wasn't for Brady Tkachuk. Like, he was the only one that seemed like he cared to be there for every second that he was on the ice, from the group stages to the gold medal match. It's like, I appreciate what they like. We don't win a gold without Brady in particular, but without the Kachucks in general. Like, I appreciate that 100%. I just wish I knew. I think that's ultimately I just wish I knew less. Ignorance truly is bliss. I wish I didn't know who the FBI director was. I wish I didn't know a goddamn thing about the political beliefs of any athletes, especially the ones that represent this country. Like, I miss when I was a child. America was perfect, and I didn't know shit.
Well, on the Kachucks, Jeff Merrick speculated about the health of not just Matthew, but his teammate Brad Marchand, whose play we discussed a little bit yesterday. Quote, I wonder about the health of Brad Marchand and Matthew Tkachuk. There were times in this Olympic tournament where I wondered, ... is he playing, referring to Marchand, like a guy that knows that this is the last hockey he's going to play this season? There's been no reports or anything of Marchand being shut down. And Marchand's been awesome this year for the Panthers. Like, really has, I don't want to say gold among garbage when you're talking about that Panthers roster, but when this team has had its bumps, and it's been a lot of bumps for them in the regular season, Brad Marchand has been an absolute stud because it's all that he knows. But in the Olympics, and granted, those games were a little crazier, but like, we saw what Marchand did in the Stanley Cup final, which is as close as you're going to get to the Olympics. And he was a dominant player. Not as much so in this tournament, so maybe there is something going on there. It brings us to this. Part 9 million of fallow year talk. And we've been ahead of this from the jump. I am so grateful that neither of you shut down fallow year talk the third or fourth or fifth time I tried to bring it up during the preseason, because we didn't know what was going to happen here. But it's worth repeating now that the Panthers draft pick that they traded to Chicago last year for Seth Jones is top 10 protected, because they currently have the 10th worst record, are in line, if the lottery balls go chalk, for the 10th overall pick. If they miss Matthew Tkachuk, already without Sasha Barkov, and miss Brad Marchand, they're in line for a high draft pick, and Jesus fuck if that happens.
Yeah, and I mean, I've always left open the door that the Panthers would be able to turn it on and like get healthy and make a push, because the Eastern Conference is so wide open and so close. There's too much smoke here to think that like the smarter decision wouldn't be to just shut it down, right? Like if Kachuk isn't healthy and Marchand isn't healthy, and neither of them looked particularly good during this Olympic tournament, and you do need to shut them down, wouldn't you just lean all the way into it, especially with no Barkov, especially with Bobrovsky in the final year of his contract? Like you could trade him, recoup some assets. You could try to go more south so that you do get into the top 10 and keep that first round pick and maybe add a player to the cupboard who can contribute to this team in like a year or two at minimum salary to help push you even forward to kind of ramp this thing back up again. I think that it would be smarter for the Panthers to shut this down rather than try to make a miraculous, well, let's just see if we can get in kind of push.
You mentioned a name there. I'm going to mention another one. Our favorite name, Jeff Merrick, who on DFO Rundown said, I would not be surprised if the Panthers moved Sergei Bobrovsky. And if they do that, I would wonder about a team like the Sharks. Let's take the Sharks out of it, which is very hard to do because if you look at my laptop, you can always see that I am a legit
Hockey
Sharks
guy.
guy.
Cash Patel's a hockey guy.
Okay, thank you. Thank
Guy's
you,
a
Frank.
legit hockey guy.
Thanks, Frank.
Personally, Frank, am a Sharks guy. Let's take the Sharks out of it, which is hard to do. Would you trade Sergei Bobrovsky?
Yes.
Would you do it in a John Lester way, or would you do it in a Sidney Ponson way?
Yeah, so that's the question. It's like, do you think that Sergei Bobrovsky?
You know about that, Sean?
I was gonna say I don't know what you're talking about, so I can guarantee
Sidney
you the
Ponson?
majority of I guarantee you the majority of the chat doesn't know what the fuck that means.
Yeah, fair. Okay, so this, the Orioles traded Sidney Ponson. Was it the Orioles? They traded him to the Yankees, and then he signed back with the Orioles.
They traded him to the Giants, and then he signed back with the Orioles.
Okay, so
But
like
this is when I said earlier that Pete, that like I know that if I stop talking, Pete's just gonna say something that like I'm gonna want to hear
just
anyway.
assume that everybody knows.
Exactly that.
I mean, it's the same thing that comes up anytime a player who's on an expiring contract and has been with a team for a long time gets traded. It's what happened with Brad Marchand last year. It's like, well, the Bruins can sign him in free agency. That very rarely happens. And if the Panthers want Bobrovsky longer term beyond this season, what's he going to cost? Does he want to be there? Is he going to fit into your picture? I wouldn't be surprised if the Panthers went somewhere else in terms of the goaltending after the season. And if that's the case, trade Bobrovsky now. Absolutely. Get something that you can get assets for him and then transition to the new guy.
And tank a little bit.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
I mean, I think we've talked about this. No, we didn't. I think we talked about it in terms of a trade, but now maybe it becomes a little more realistic. If the Panthers let Bob go and they want to sign a big goaltender who can carry a load,
Stuart Skinner.
Stu.
Oh, man.
Stu
That'd be
the Panther?
unbelievable.
I would get that jersey and then bury myself alive in it.
An Alex Lyon reunion after this season is only on a 1 year with the Sabres, I believe, having an awesome year. And the Sabres are not going to be able to keep 3 goalies. So, like, why not sign him for a couple of years?
I could see that.
Or send Devin Levi back.
Famously, Alex Lyon has never done anything good for the Panthers in net that has led to horrible things happening for me personally.
Famously.
Never, not once. Pete's about to go on a Sean rant about about Alex Lyon. Okay, let's get to some miscellaneous stuff. And this is very important. This is kind of the moment that you've all been waiting for. People who said, you going to talk about it? You going to address it? Yeah. Okay. Last week, we talked about gas station videos. Pete, what did you call it? You called it like
artisanal
gourmet
slop.
Artisanal slop.
I didn't call it that. Chat did. I won't steal valor. Somebody in the chat called it artisanal slop, and I stole that. I love it.
So we're talking about gas station videos or those weird videos with stills and a voiceover. And we said it'd be pretty sweet if people started making these for us and send them to us, because there was one about Quinn Hughes and a quote that he gave to Matt Porter about seeing ghosts. And then E Online made something really, I was going to say cool, but really more like cool for us. I don't know, cool for anybody else. And in this conversation, we were talking about a bunch of shit. And we also asked if we thought Quinn Hughes had ever vaped before. Just like an offhand, like, think he's ever vaped, and then we moved on with our lives. Young Gritty has sent us a homemade gas station video on this subject. Sean, have you seen it?
I have not. I dropped it in here and turned it off immediately. I wanted to be surprised.
I will tell you before you watch this, all of this, none of this is AI. All of this is homemade, gourmet, locally, or you could be
Locally
the judge,
sourced
maybe
ingredients.
not locally sourced. Here is Young Gritty's gas station video that he sent to us.
My name is John, and this is a What Chaos news update. On Tuesday, America celebrated Quinn Hughes' overtime heroics, but after publicly confronting his ghosts, the world began to wonder if there was more to his story.
I'm Quinn Hughes.
Questions began to surface about whether the ghosts Quinn Hughes was seeing stemmed from his days at the University of Michigan, where his potential tobacco product use has been called into question. While statistics on what percentage of the University of Michigan hockey team participated in the use of Juul products are not readily available, it is estimated that in his freshman year, 23% of college students regularly used a vape product, which means it is very likely Mr. Hughes participated. Additionally, Quinn's brother, Dylan Larkin, has been previously caught using tobacco products on camera. Clearly, this habit runs in the family. It should not be all that surprising considering the skates Hughes wears are called vapor. Hughes has since moved on from his younger days, but the ghosts of yesterday still haunt him. It is believed that this caused him to fall to 8th overall in his draft class. The gamble has clearly paid off for his team. While there is no reason to believe Quinn actually inhaled the Juul, it cannot be ruled out of the question.
Is better than your entire country.
Oh,
Masterclass.
A plus. We don't do A pluses here. I'm giving out a rare A plus.
I think the sneakiest part of that was the shot at the Canucks at the end.
Incredible.
It clearly worked out for his team, showing him in a Canucks jersey. Banger, Young Gritty.
Young Gritty, they could never make me hate you. Quinn Hughes, they could never make me hate you. It's unbelievable.
That is so good, Young Gritty. He sent it to me, and I couldn't show it to you guys because I was like, I need this to be the kind of like unboxing type of energy. But
yeah,
I didn't show it to anybody. Like I didn't show it to my girlfriend. I was like, no one's gonna understand this or care about this. But I've seen the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life, and now I got to shut the fuck up for 4 days about it.
Yeah, that's tough.
Incredible.
Somebody said the only downside is that it's not a vertical video, so that we can't like post it on social. Well, the easy solution there is to just go into Photoshop, make a tiny screen at a gas station, and put that in.
That's what I was gonna do.
Yeah, perfect. Perfect.
Yeah, or we can also show it with do like a split thing and us on top watching it and laughing at it. There's ways that we can do that.
Yes.
Sean, you and I are going to have our work cut out for us after this episode. You've got to make a social clip of yourself. I've got to
want to do that. I hate the idea of doing that.
Pete,
Sean
do you want to
doesn't
make
put
a
himself on
social
the
clip of
Jumbotron.
Sean?
No, of course I don't.
I mean, I could make a clip of. I was gonna do the Kash Patel one because trying to explain like which parts we should use or whatever was gonna be a headache. So I was just gonna do that one, and then anyway. But now we got to do a gas station one. We still haven't put out any Jonathan Bell stuff, and there's more to come there. So we are backloaded. Also, Working in Hockey posted job openings. If you don't follow Working in Hockey on Instagram, it's a great resource. They posted job openings, and the first one listed is Leafs Hockey School Instructor. That is Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment. It's a part-time job in Toronto, Ontario. Have to ask, did the Leafs fire the horse?
Certainly seems like it.
No.
What did they do? They sent the horse to the glue factory.
The horse was too big
Gross.
time. The horse was not. The horse wasn't doing hockey school. He wasn't instructing children. He was with the pros. Like that, this is a job for a lowly human, not a highly experienced horse.
Well, here's the thing: they could have promoted the youth hockey coach to the big club,
the horse's position,
and fired the horse from the
enough.
big club.
Yeah, they needed glue to put up that new sign after they had to take off the punctuation.
They just need a glue guy.
Can we apply
glue
for
guy.
this job? Can we apply for this? This is gonna be better. Hold on, sorry. Can we apply for this job as a horse?
I don't know how you
Send
do
a
that.
resume. Send a resume that reads as though it's kind of a weird resume, but if you know that it's being sent by a horse, it makes all the sense in the world.
Something tells me
finish runner-up at the Preakness
Yes.
2023.
something tells me there's no payoff for that because I think they don't acknowledge that exists. I don't think they send it. I don't think you send it and get a denial letter.
You don't think we could get an interview?
I was gonna say I hope not, but as a hater, I hope so because I don't think there would be a greater signifier for institutional dysfunction than them accidentally, or I guess worse, purposefully granting a horse an interview for any job, even if it is just part-time youth hockey instructor.
Chad is theorizing that the horse got let go after kicking Craig Berube in the head.
Oh, right.
Which we did say happened earlier.
It
this
all
season.
makes sense.
Imagine we have we get a Zoom interview and do the whole hello, I can hear you. Oh, is my camera not on? Oh, wait, hold on. My camera should. And
Horse filter.
there we go. And it's just a fucking video of a horse.
Dude. Oh my!
That would be
There's so many horse and glue puns in the chat right now. It's unbelievable.
The second you said glue, Pete, I saw it go into a bad place. I wanted to do the thing that I talked about earlier where it's oh yeah, glue. Okay, now let me change the conversation to arts and crafts. So we're not talking about horses and glue.
No, we're already, the glue train has left the station. We're at Elmer Soderblom, E2 Glycerinin.
Elmer
Barclay
Soderblom is my favorite. Elmer Soderblom is my favorite.
That's the best
so
one.
Good.
Let's kind of wrap up this party with winners and losers of the Olympics. Okay, I've got one. Can I start?
Yes.
Biggest winner of the Olympics 2024-25 Toronto Maple Leafs. Austin Matthews, proven winner. Mitch Marner, once again, does it in overtime. Comes through big in that Czech game. These are two big... What?
You know that Mitch Marner doesn't play for the Maple Leafs anymore, right?
He said 24-25,
damn it.
correct?
I even texted. I said, for winners and losers, I've got such a banger. We're going to make 30 social clips out of it. It's going to rage bait people. It's going to be the fucking best.
Oh.
You baited too hard.
You baited me. It's an effective bait.
3, 2, 1. Number one biggest winner by far, 2024-25 Toronto Maple Leafs. Austin Matthews, proven winner, leader of men. Mitch Marner comes through again big time in that Czechia game with the OT winner. Did it in Four Nations as well. This is a duo that, if given the proper run, can lead a team to glory. Biggest winner, 2024-25 Toronto Maple Leafs.
I missed it. Sorry. Good job. Work.
Now
Good work.
you can riff off it.
I don't want to. It's so stupid. I don't want to.
It's not so stupid. It was too smart for you. Clearly, you didn't get it.
Yeah. Sorry.
Whatever. We have enough things. We have enough things. People were saying the first take was better. All right.
I mean, I think it is a testament to how good you are at baiting that somebody fell for it live.
Yeah, I mean, there's proof
when they
is
should have been in on the
people
bit.
will buy it.
But I don't think it's tricking. The goal wasn't to trick people into thinking that Mitch Marner was still on the Maple Leafs. The goal was to say the team that is best positioned after the Olympics, the team that is proven to have the most winners, is the one that chose to disband.
But I think
and the fact that it's the Maple Leafs makes it funnier.
You forget that people on the internet are dumb. So I promise you would have gotten a number of comments being like, Mitch Marner isn't on the Leafs anymore.
Yeah, I feel like I'm probably the best representation of the internet on this podcast.
We've talked about that. That's true. Yeah.
Yes. So
I apologize if I got a little angry, ran a little hot, but that's the big winner for me. Shout out to anyone in the chat who got it. How many winners you got?
I got stupider winners. I've got stoats. The stoat, I know what it is now. I had no idea what the fuck a stoat was before the Olympics. So stoat brand visibility
It's a type
way
of
up.
beer.
Stoat stocks.
Stoat stocks way up. Oh shit!
Yeah, Fatima said it at the same time.
yeah.
Basically.
Damn. Right on. Sean, you got any winners?
How about the United States of America? No, I mean it's not like
Republicans.
like goalies from countries that are dog shit at hockey. Like shout out Leonardo Giannino,
Damian Clara,
Giannino,
our
Damian
goat
Clara,
forever.
obviously. Like the Swiss and Italian goalies in particular. That's my favorite part of the Olympics is people like we're getting a good performance from somebody, and then people being like, that guy can fix my NHL team. No, he can't, because if he could, he'd be there.
Someone said Gluck Hughes.
Pretty good. Corona's big winners at the Olympics, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
So I
Small
don't think I
winners.
saw a single beer other than Corona.
Until the
Corona
post game
beers.
and mix, they had a lot of Mick Lights.
Corona, mustard, and the applesauce that Hillary Knight was pounding on the bench.
Yeah, it was
Oh, I missed that.
the pouch ones.
Yeah,
Ah,
Those
a little
pouch
squeeze.
ones that you just fucking toothpaste up into your gullet.
Can never
Yeah.
do that. I can never do that.
Finally, applesauce for women.
It's
We're gonna have
so
to make
easy
them an
a woman can
applesauce.
do it. It's fucking ridiculous.
If
It's
men
like
touch that
astronaut food.
applesauce- What's that? Yeah,
It's like astronaut food. It's just like a tube, and you just squeeze it down your gullet.
You ever do any of that? We
ridiculous.
probably talk about this. Yeah, I don't think that Pete's like a regular gym person, so he doesn't have to train for shit. And Sean, I think you just kind of go with the flow. But have either of you had to use any of those like gel packs or the things that you can kind of like refuel on the go if you're like running a long distance or any of that?
No.
I've done that gel shit and it is gross. It makes your mouth so sticky.
Oh God! As a texture person,
Yeah,
absolutely
you
not.
would hate it.
hate it. I have a big loser.
All right, good, because I don't have any more for this thing. I thought that the Leafs thing was going to carry us for like the rest of the show.
Okay, big loser. Sorry to say it. The French. The French caught so many strays during the Olympics.
I don't know if they were
got-
strays. They were like direct shots.
Yeah.
It's fair. Yeah, the French had a tough showing.
Some were
both on-
self-inflicted.
That's true. And like particularly one Frenchman, Pierre Crinon, tough Olympics. Although I do know his name now, so I guess if we're doing name brand visibility, that's up, but not for any good reasons.
All right. Any more?
I also have a loser, Money Puck, because damn, that would have been the most used deserve to win a meter of all time yesterday after the gold medal game.
Big time.
Chunked it.
Yeah, a winner, Mike Tirico, because that's someone that the USA roster aligns itself with that we can all get behind. Dylan Larkin was so excited to talk to Mike Tirico.
Yeah, he was. Dylan Larkin
Mike-
just seemed like he was really enjoying this entire experience.
I can't believe that we didn't get to talk about the Mike Tirico interview with the Hughes brothers and Connor Hellebuck, which is one of the more absurd interviews that I think I've ever seen. Quinn Hughes just thanking the troops for letting him play.
The best part of that, by the way, was Connor Hellebuck being like, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, like, yeah, good point, good point. And then meanwhile, Dylan Larkin being like, Mike Tirico! He had to, like, Jack basically pushing him off, being like, let me finish thanking the troops. Just clearly drunk as
How much cooler would
shit.
it have been? How much cooler would it have been if Tirico was doing the broadcast from Milan, and if they had, I don't know, like Tappan and TJ Oshie doing the post game and doing all the studio stuff. So Tirico was free after the game, and it was Tirico in the room partying with them instead of Kash Patel. And like the exact same videos came out, except it's with Mike Tirico.
I would have been
confusingly Mike Tirico having Donald Trump on speakerphone, being like, "I'm gonna get the boys there. All right, boss."
in some ways, I would have been more upset because I expect something of Mike Tirico. I expect
like
a
the
certain
Trump
amount
thing,
of
yeah.
professionalism. I don't expect anything from Kash Patel.
I would definitely be more shocked because Mike Tirico,
Yes.
I think like his professionalism is his entire identity. I think.
Yes.
Like he just wants to be a broadcaster, and I think that he would like chop his own head off, waking up the next morning seeing how he inserted himself into the story rather than just covering the story.
But if Mike Tirico had to tweet through it the way that Kash Patel did, that would be amazing. I don't know Mike Tirico to have any sort of social media presence. Kash Patel has been sending tweets and sharing things and being like, I did not do this with taxpayer money. These are my friends, okay? And if Mike Tirico is doing all that, again, like it's to the letter of what Kash Patel did. Him tweeting like to the very concerned media.
Which
no
they would have been
tax
concerned.
dollars. I mean, yeah, the media would have been like, his producers would have been like, Mike, buddy, you've never been like this.
What's happening?
You love hockey. Wow.
I did want to ask, after this whole thing is done, have our feelings changed at all on Peacock as an app?
I've never had a problem with Peacock.
I had a good Peacock experience.
I love Peacock during the Olympics. Two Olympics in a row. The last Summer Olympics, Peacock carried again this time. I love Peacock coverage of the Olympics.
Spent so much time on Peacock over like the past month and a half from traders and the Olympics. It's been my most used app, which I would never have been able to say before. I don't know if it's like an internet issue on my part, but I feel like Peacock's like stream quality degraded over time, in which I would like have to exit the stream and then go right back into it. And that's really annoying, especially when they force you to watch a 15-second ad every time you click on a stream, even if it's the one you were just watching.
That part, and then if you switch tabs, it will pause the stream, or it'll pause the ad, so I can't even like go click on my Twitter notifications or something just to kill the time. Generally, though, I didn't think too much. I didn't notice like stream quality issues. A couple buffering issues every once in a while, but
yeah,
I don't know. I like NBC. I think they did a pretty good job.
My biggest
think
issue,
that, like the broadcast packages were kind of boring.
That's the Olympics, though. That's the Olympics x NBC. That's the most like the most like sterile you could possibly be.
Also, the group chat was talking this morning about like the editorial decisions on the broadcast in terms of the camera work on the gold medal games, and I do agree that those could have been better. When the women won gold, and the first shot that they showed was a Canadian player just like laying on the ice looking sad, instead of showing the Team USA celebration. That I thought was weird, and I think that like I have to go back and watch because I haven't rewatched the gold medal men's game yet. Very excited to do that with no like real pit in my stomach. I thought that the celebration was like a little clunky in terms of the way that it was shown.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, like, because like even NBC gets their video from OBS, right? Like they're just so like they don't like NBC doesn't have necessarily control over the cameras, or no? I don't really know, because like I can understand if it's just like a general like detached broadcast, if them maybe not being on top of it. But like if this is NBC controlling everything specifically for an American audience, then that's just definitely got to be better.
My biggest issue
I don't know who to blame.
NBC or with Peacock remains. I have no issues with NBC. Love NBC.
It's important to note. Company man.
I'm an NBC guy. I grew up watching Channel 2 News in Buffalo on NBC.
Oh, buddy. Friends, 30 Rock, The Office. My biggest issue is that I don't know when I'm watching an episode of The Office anymore what was in the original air thing and what wasn't. Because now if there's even a second that I didn't remember seeing before, I'm questioning myself. So that throws me for a loop. You want to really get thrown for a loop? We don't have any hockey tonight or tomorrow night. So we're going to do a little look ahead for when the NHL does return. It'll be brought to you by Sports Interaction, Sportsbook and Casino. Every game is your game when you bet with Sports Interaction. Bet the action on every period, every shift, every shot with Canada's homegrown sportsbook. Sports Interaction, Ontario only, 19+. Please play responsibly. I was looking at Stanley Cup favorites this morning, okay? And I'll give you the leader. Avalanche have the best odds at +225. And then you got the Lightning, then you got the Hurricanes, the Golden Knights. Fifth best, you get to my Edmonton Oilers at +1,000. The Buffalo Sabres are plus 4,000. I'm now skipping teams to get there. And the Boston Bruins are plus 12,500. Ooh. I was going to ask, what do you like the best out of all of these? And I suppose I will ask that. Pete, what do you like out of Avalanche plus 225, Oilers plus 1,000, Sabres plus 4,000, Bruins plus 12,500? What do you think is the best value in terms of something that you think could actually happen?
I mean, I will say, I think it's got to be the Oilers because you're getting fucking quad digits on the odds, and it's the Oilers. Like, they still have McDavid, they still have Draisaitl. Yeah, they haven't had like the magic, but like in each of the past 2 years, they've turned it on when the playoffs started. So while I look at the Western Conference and I'm like, they're gonna have a much tougher path this year with the 3 teams in the Central Division, I do like Buffalo there, though. Like, with the East being wide open, plus 4,000 to win the Cup. My issue there, though, is like, if it was to win the East, oh yeah, baby, sign me up. But to win the Cup, I don't know. Especially as somebody who constantly subscribes to the idea that you need to lose before you win the Cup.
Oh, they've done plenty of that. Just
yeah, but you need to lose. You need to learn how to lose in the playoffs before you learn how to win in the playoffs.
Buddy, they're ready.
Listen, this is a basic take. I got it. I gotta go with the Avs. They're the only one of those teams that I think actually has a chance to win the Stanley Cup. Like the Sabres, I don't think are going to come out of the East. I don't think they're gonna, because realistically, that's going to mean they're going to have to beat both the Hurricanes and the Lightning in a 7-game series in the playoffs, and I don't think they're quite there yet. I think they'll be competitive in those series. They can be competitive in those series. I don't think this team's coming out of the East, let alone, like you said, winning the Cup. Like, the Avs are going to get the Stars and the Wild to beat the shit out of each other for 7 games, and then they're going to have the rest of the West to deal with. Like, it's going to be the Avs are the only team on that list that is an objective failure if they don't win the Stanley Cup.
I see in the chat. I wouldn't say it's a failure, but I will say in the chat, MS DeRose. It says McKinnon is going to railroad his way to the Cup now. I am very worried as to what McKinnon is going to look like in the second half after what just happened at the Olympics. That man is going to be possessed to a degree that we haven't seen.
If I'm Brock Nelson,
him be possessed to a degree that is stunning.
If I'm Brock Nelson, I'm wearing that gold into the rink every single day just to piss those two off, just to piss those two guys off, and especially when Kel McCarr seems like a nice guy. He might actually get his feelings hurt. I feel like Nathan McKinnon will go like full Bobby Boucher, and like every single player on the other team will have Brock Nelson's face on it, and he's just going to start killing people.
I'm worried. Can I ask a question about some odds on the list, if you have it in front of you?
Yes.
Where are the Montreal Canadiens listed at?
Canadians are right below the Panthers. Hold on. The Canadians are, I have to translate, plus 3,000.
So I like that more than I like Buffalo plus 4,000. I think there's more value there. I think the Canadians can get to the Cup this year, and I think that they can be a very, very surprise Cinderella team. I don't know if I believe in them winning it, but the East is wide open, and I think that the Canadians have a real shot. They've got a fun young team, man.
A Sabres-Canadian series in the playoffs would feed families. Oh my gosh, that would be... honestly, any combination of Sabres, Red Wings, Habs, if you get those two of those teams in a playoff series, it's going to be electric. You DJ, were about to push back on my suggestion that the Avs were the only team on that list that would be an objective failure if they don't win the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, I mean, when you are a team that has won the Cup before, and when you have... I understand the expectations to win the Stanley Cup when you're the best team in the regular season, but I think that we went way too far in thinking the Avalanche were bad last year, and I think that we are now going quite a bit too far in thinking the Avalanche are way better than everybody else. The Avalanche, by a lot of metrics... And Pete's not going to like any of this conversation because the Bruins aren't far behind them. There have been 2 teams that, and I need to find the metrics to back me up because I was reading about it. Fluto Shinzao wrote it, and I trust him more than anybody in the world. And He said the Avalanche have been the luckiest team. They've been awesome, but they've also been the luckiest team. And the Bruins have been the second luckiest team. And the Bruins haven't really been awesome, but like luck has taken the Bruins to being a fringe playoff team that could talk themselves into maybe we can make a run here. The Avalanche are an actual good team who has been statistically very fortunate. So I think that we're getting, I know that history is going to forget that I was very, very pro Avalanche last year, and I'm pro Avalanche this year, but I think that we're getting carried away in thinking it's any sort of one team race.
Oh, I didn't say that.
And I don't think that because they're in first place that they should win the Stanley Cup or else.
Well, I didn't say I think for any of those three teams in the Central, if they don't win the Stanley Cup, it's a failure. Like,
oh, okay.
Like, yeah, I don't, and I've been like level-headed, I guess, on the Avs over the last, like, I've picked the Avs to win the Stanley Cup like every year for the last 3 years, and I think this is the best they've been over the last 3 years. But yeah, I don't necessarily think like, I just think they're like if the Sabres don't win the Stanley Cup, it's not a failure. If they miss the playoffs, that's a failure. But like the Avs, the Wild, the Stars, like all of those teams, anything less than winning the Stanley Cup, I think their season has been a failure.
So my issue with the teams in the Central is that like you're only
got to play them.
You're only gonna get one of them from 2 and 3, and how much are they gonna beat the shit out of each other? And what's the rest of the road gonna look like for those teams? That's the part that really does scare me. And that's like I love the Wild. I'm absolutely on the Wild bandwagon for the rest of the year. I hope that they win the Cup. I don't know if they've got the playoff experience for me to like truly believe that it happens this year, and I don't know if I truly believe that they're going to win that division and escape another monster in the first round, and that part really scares me.
Yeah, I have no idea which one of the three teams it's going to be, but I think, and obviously like every team is going to say this, but like if you ask any of those teams, if it does, I don't think the path for them matters. Like if they don't win the Cup, they have failed.
Do we have a team that we think that the East runs through, by the way? Like
Tampa.
Are we willing to say that it runs through the Lightning, or does it run through
Tampa or
the Hurricanes?
It's one of the two. Take your pick. I still really like the Hurricanes. I've had the conversation with various people, and the people want to, like, I know that PD is out on that, but at this point, with anything in the Hurricanes, it's kind of like when the Jets, back when they used to make the playoffs, I'm like, I have my thought on it, but I know that it's a pointless conversation until we see what they actually do. But East is wide open this year. I feel really good about the Hurricanes, but the Lightning should feel really good as well, although their coach clearly outcoached yesterday.
I was going to say that. I didn't get a chance to say that in the winner-losers conversation.
About the John Cooper element.
But I can't believe we had a whole conversation about winners and losers. They didn't point out that the biggest losers are the Canadiens. They lost the gold medal. And then their fans embarrassed themselves on Twitter afterwards by crying about it, acting like it didn't count for some reason. The Canadians are objectively, in multiple ways, losers.
How did we not talk about the Nathan MacKinnon thing?
Dude, what a fucking crybaby. Oh, him and Cooper.
That sucks because I said that right off the top of the show, which is like, Canada, obviously the better team, but like, that's why we do this. Like, you want it to be hard. And like, it seemed impossible for USA to win that game with how much Canada had the puck and how much they were playing Connor McDavid and all the things that they were doing. That's amazing. You have to trust that I'm going to say it, that Pete's going to say it, that Sean's going to say it. If you're wearing a Canada jersey, you can't be the one that says that. You have to trust that anyone who watched the game knows it. And maybe they'll say it, maybe they won't say it. You can't be the one to say it, buddy.
And also,
I got it all out yesterday. I'm going to excuse myself from this conversation. I had my fun yesterday. I want to celebrate this win, and I don't want to make it about Canada or politics.
To celebrate,
I'm just stick to the USA and the fact that they won gold.
To celebrate the USA, and my problem with McKinnon's comment is like, and this always happens when teams get goalied. It's like the goalie's on the fucking team. The American goalie was the best player on the ice. Yes. So like, how are you going to say you were the better team? You didn't score goals. You scored one goal.
Also, like, USA's defense was better,
that was not like an aberration either. That was the number one biggest thing that people said. If USA is going to win, it's probably going to be largely due to goaltending because they have Connor Hellebuck over Jordan Binnington. And turns out that was a huge advantage in this game. And it's a 1-game playoff, so you can't do the, well, if we played 100 times, you didn't play 100 times. You played 1 game for the gold medal. That's how it works. It's how it's always worked. We won that game.
And then Cooper complaining about 3-on-3.
That's a gold medal for
Cooper complaining about 3-on-3 when they had just won a game in 3-on-3 and didn't say shit after that. Like, you got to just, the
and
game
you don't
is the
get to
game.
complain about 3-on-3 when your 3-on-3 lineup is Nathan McKinnon, Connor McDavid, and Kel McCarr.
You also don't get to
complain about that.
You don't get to complain about 3-on-3 when the other team plays 3-on-3. Like, that's the thing when people complain about the ice. Like, it doesn't fucking matter. Both teams are playing under the same circumstances. We all agree that it'd be better on 5-on-5, but it wasn't.
Yes.
And you lost the fucking hockey game. That's just
I
is
think
what
we
it
would all
is.
agree too that like if it was played 5-on-5, US would have a much harder time winning that game.
Yeah, probably. But that wasn't what it was.
You heard it from Sean. You don't get to complain about ice. I disagree. We're going to have a conversation off the show about that, my friend. Every game is your game. Good Sabres talk. Every game is your game when you bet with Sports Interaction. From puck drop to overtime, bet with live odds on every play with easy deposits and payouts. Go to sportsinteraction.com/whatchaos to open an account. Ontario only 19 plus. Please play responsibly. Okay, we have many super chats to get to. Before we get to them, please make sure that you press like on this video and subscribe wherever you could subscribe. Sean, I think you're just gonna have to throw them up on the screen, right? Unless you want to read them.
I can read them if you want me to.
I'll do like 5 because I think there were a million. So I'll do like 5, and then Pete can do 5, and then you can do some.
Okay.
All right, give me some. From XD. X Disintegration. How about that? Are Canada Crosby merchants? People are asking. Credit to me when you were talking about McKinnon possibly going off down the stretch. I was trying to get in there and say, without McDavid, please. The guy can't do shit. We also have from Sharks Millie. I know at this point not to expect decency from hockey players, but the Kash Patel Trump FaceTime thing still really hurts. Yes, I'm sure that came during the conversation. We weren't psyched either. What we got from Nate, they are finding Malaysia 370 before poor Nancy.
Damn.
All right.
I mean, you're probably right. Unfortunately.
What do we have? Kash Patel is the guy that shows up at the party and everyone else asks, wait, who the fuck invited this guy? Yeah, like you can kick people out of parties. You can ask. Alejandro says DJ coming strong, snatching wigs left, right, and center. What'd I do, Sean?
That was just at a point where you were making good points about all the Kash Patel stuff. I don't know exactly what comment that's referencing, but
Can I ask a stupid question? I don't know what the meaning of snatching wigs is.
so like it roots in like black women fighting. Snatch a woman's wig. It's like an ultimate sign of disrespect.
Okay.
But there's obviously like it's just become a term generally speaking of like you fuck somebody up, like you just kind of owned them.
We are a big
I did
ultimate
see a
sign of
wig get
disrespect
snatched.
podcast. Oh, yeah?
I did see I saw a wig get snatched of one of the Look Maxer guys, and I found it very
Yes,
funny.
I did see that. Yes, I'm so glad that maxing and mogging hasn't really infiltrated this podcast too much because I'd lose my fucking mind.
Isn't Look Maxing just like trying to look as good as you can?
Yeah, it's basically doing everything in your effort to look as good as you can. So like
Isn't that what people
Christ.
have done for like the entirety of humanity?
Yeah, but like, so this really like the big face of all of this is Clavicle, a streamer, and he talks about like getting surgery done where they like break your jaw to give you strong. So it's like going above and beyond to look as good as you possibly can, at least by your standards of what looking good is.
Give me another one, Sean. Don't need it. From Agata. I apologize. It's Agata? Okay. It was amazing watching you guys. Love that you never disappoint value-wise. I'll send the Tinas to jail. Yeah, we give you good value here. It's free to watch. So we try to make this a good value podcast. Although we do have a Patreon if you want to get worse value.
I was gonna say if you want to water down that value a little bit, you can subscribe to the Patreon. Patreon.com.
I'll say, Pete, on the Patreon, possibly your best newsletter yet. I love the newsletter that Pete writes. Now, here, I'm going to do a little Kash Patel, get in there and make it about you. Hope I'm not breaking the Patreon code by saying stuff that's behind the paywall. But you said that you're going to, for Lent, do no phone in bed. Strongest. I've been doing that for like over a year now. I'm basically, I was kind of bullied into it. I'll be honest. Not something that I want. It's something that like sounded good in theory, but I was like, I'm just not going to be able to do it. I can't do it because I work.
Bullied in bed. You heard it here first.
You heard it here first. I have work. I have to be on my phone. And like when I get into bed, I have a little side thing. I have a little side thing in bed. My end table has like
bullied in bed and has a side thing.
Yes. Very healthy life. Like my phone goes in this one area, and when I get into bed, I truly do not touch it. If I need to check the time, I can cheat and grab my iPad, which is near the bed, but like I am not texting or scrolling or doing any sort of shit, and it has made me sleep so much fucking better. So I know that you're on like a fewer screens journey. Yeah. I think that I recommend strongly to anyone who wants to use their phone a little bit, a small change that really won't fuck you up too bad. When you're in bed, don't do the phone.
I didn't even, as a non-religious person, I didn't fully realize it was Lent, but it was always a big deal in my high school. Went to a private Catholic high school because they served fish every Friday. Are like fish fries a big deal in Boston? Because like here, like you go to any restaurant on a Friday, VFW, whatever, and you get like a big fish fry and fries, stuff like that. And I didn't know if that was like just a Buffalo thing.
Yeah, I've never heard of that.
Oh man, you got to get the Buffalo for a good fish fry. Fish fries are the best.
Last thing on the phone, someone in the chat says, if no phone in bed, when do you do the New York Times spelling bee? I don't do Wordle. I used to do it once upon a time where like you'd have like the game that you play
right
or
bed,
whatever.
Yeah. I was a Wordle
right
every night.
Bed, I will bring a screen into bed. I'll put on a fucking episode of The Office or something on the iPad, or less frequently, but more frequently than before, I will read. Like don't do a thing on your phone. The one time a day.
That was the second part of my Lent thing. Is no screens in bed, and I'm gonna read every day for the next 40 days. And I've just been reading before going to bed, and it's been really great. I'm reading Normal People by Sally Rooney right now. And I just finished Beartown. It was very good. I haven't watched the Normal People show, so don't spoil anything for me. I know Paul Mescal's in it. Daisy Edgar Jones, I believe, also in it. Heard good things, so I'm excited.
Love it, love it, love it. Any more super chats? I know that we have
we have like 45 more.
Okay.
All right.
Let's get to them. I'll take these ones. TS Films says, I appreciate y'all's views and speaking about it, and I'm so happy I found a show that has views like me and still loves this sport. Go Jackets. Hell yeah, CBJ. Nate Gilbert back again. What is he going to do? DGT call laugh is what's getting them nuked online. I think deservedly. So not the call itself, I would say.
Yeah.
The joke and the laugh.
Yeah.
It's the joke.
We have officially entered like 25 straight pro Sean.
Read them, Sean.
Super chats. Okay.
Sean, read them.
Alejandro says, Sean is like the Oracle in the Matrix. Tessa says, love you, Sean. Kat Walzilla says, Sean, your rant genuinely made me feel better. Thank you guys for talking about it. Midwest Kraken said flowers for Sean. Stephanie said, Sean, I've grown quite fond of you. You come to me as a long lost friend whom I once picked apples with in Papa's orchard. I like it. Alejandro says tequila shots for Sean. You know me so well. That's the only liquor I'll drink. Maybe cognac. I like a little Hennessy. Jules, Major Sean W. Mimi, thank you, Sean. That healed my soul a bit. Checker Dandy says, fuck yeah, Sean. Renee Maldonado said, the only king chat I want to hear today is Sean. I appreciate that, Renee. Dole Whiplash says, I like that name, Dole Whiplash. Hell yeah, Sean. Chuckle says, Zorshan Mamdani, mayor of Papa's Orchard. Shout out Zoran Mamdani for giving the children of New York City a real snow day today. First one they've had in a very long time. Annika says, it sucks so bad having stuff like this tarnish the sport that we all love, but I will always be grateful for you guys for having you guys in the hockey space. Steph says, thank you for setting the tone of the week, Sean. Mia Mia says, W. Sean, let go of my purse. Says, good job, boys, standing on business. Ryan says, so grateful for you guys on the show. Maxie says, really needed this ep and y'all so I could remember not everyone and everything is bananagrams insane. What do y'all know about bananagrams?
I know bananagrams.
I haven't played bananagrams in ages.
I'm allergic to bananagrams.
Ellie says, here for Sean.
Go fuck myself.
Rose said, got into hockey in 2025
Your wife's politics.
Because politics broke me and I needed joy. Love the sport. Love what chaos, especially Sean. And that's not going away. Fuck the orange cancer and his evil administration. Hard retweet. This person, not going to try and pronounce your name, says, fuck yeah, this podcast gives me a little more hope that that hockey might be able to be for everyone at some point. Another person says, if Canada became the 51st state, they would have more reps than California and be solidly blue. It's not the flex that they think it is. That's also a great point. If Canada became a voting state, a Republican would never win another election for the rest of time. But they don't want to talk. They don't think about that. So grateful. Tuzi says, so grateful for you guys. Thank you for not being cowards. Alvaro Soriano says, my man Sean. Andreas Johnson says, sending all the love to Sean from Gothenburg, Sweden. Hell yeah. Somebody knows who I am in Sweden. That's cool. Chris Biana says, fuck yeah, Sean. Renee Maldonado says, believe women. Absolutely. Unless it's Pam Bondi talking about the fucking NASDAQ or whatever the fuck she was talking about.
I believe that was also in reference to me saying Ellen was lying about shoveling outside. And as an update to that, it was not Ellen in the chat who dropped that comment. It was Ellen's sister who has the same first initial.
Okay.
So apologies.
I was going to say the picture was a dog, and I was like, I don't know.
That's not one of your dogs. Yeah, I thought the exact same thing actually. But followed up by BBT Devil, who says the Ellen shoveling fun. So FIPNW says, hell yes. Hell yeah. Nelly Lundstrom says, by the way, take on the idea of suffering your hardest loss to date and then seeing you've just been involuntarily looped into an elevated cupcake experience. I don't know what a single ounce of that sentence means. The most respect in the world. Don't know what elevated cupcake experience. What does that mean? Trademark, by the way. TM.
I need to know what elevated cupcake experience
we still got
means.
a few chats left, so if you can clarify real quick. Nate Gilbert, another one, says, Young Gritty, get ready for your trip to Sundance for the best live-action short film. Where are they putting Sundance now? Isn't it leaving Utah?
Oh,
I have
is
no
it?
idea. I didn't even know it was in
I'm pretty
Utah.
sure this Sundance was the last one in Utah, and it's getting moved somewhere.
Somebody said this in chat, and I got to get a joke off. So he said, where is it? Pete confusing his wife with her sister, SMH. I'm not Tony Clark. Okay, go ahead, Sean.
I can't believe we never got a chance to talk about that. Fucking insane.
I know.
You're just hiring your wife's sister, presumably, and then sleeping with her. Like, HR, like, just so wrong in every way. Even if even if he wasn't married and it wasn't his sister-in-law, bad. Even if his sister-in-law didn't work for them, bad. Like, bad in every way. Hilarious. It's me, Tessa, saying not endorsing money laundering, but get this to Young Gritty. No promises. Charlotte Adams says, will Canada's homegrown sportsbook, Sports Interaction, allow us to bet on which Canadian player kills Radko Gudas? No. I don't think so. Gonna go out on a limb and say, don't think so. Stacey Faye writes, best podcast, best host, best producer. We're all the winners here. Appreciate you. You're a winner, Stacey Faye.
Except the Canadians. They still
check out
silver
Stacey Faye's books.
People forget.
Writer. Christine says, love you guys. Thanks for being the best always. Young Gritty says, Super Chat's turning this into a 24-hour stream. Genuinely, we're at the 1 hour and 54-minute mark.
There's one so good coming up. I'm going to jump ahead.
Go for it.
You don't have to show it yet. We're going to get to it. But someone said elevated cupcake experience is Pete reaching for frosting above the fridge.
Jesus. See? But I'll give that one. That's a good short joke. That's new and original.
Yes.
You played with what was going on in the moment. That's good.
I didn't get to back Sean up on this earlier. Short jokes I'm very okay with short jokes. I make them myself quite a bit. I'm very cool with it. But I just saying like the M word and fucking the same jokes that I've heard a billion times. Go back to school. Learn a joke.
Literally. No, because I think that's where they got the jokes is elementary school. Because they're so low level. Fatima says, thank you, Sean, for speaking out today. It sucks loving hockey as a woman of color. I can only fucking imagine. Nellie Ludstrom says, let's drag this out, eh? Why not? Marin says, the winners are Whatnuts. We love you guys. I would say that we're the winners for having the Whatnuts. Because I care about your opinions in the context of the show and not my politics. Stephanie Mills back to say, I like 3-on-3. I'm sorry. You guys mentioned it the other day. They should make it a whole event, and I agree with that so hard, but I like it to end the game too. Special teams wins games. I did see somebody make the point, I believe it was on the Barn Burner podcast. Shout out to our Nation co-workers, talking about like a thing that gets lost in all of this is 20 minutes of 3-on-3 is a massive improvement over going to a shootout. Like, I would rather have endless 3-on-3 than having this game end in a shootout. Not perfect, obviously. Just do endless 5-on-5, especially in the championship game when there's nothing else happening in the arena afterwards. But
don't misconstrue this as hating 3-on-3. I really like 3-on-3, but I
just
like
in the context
as an overtime in the regular season. I just don't like it for elimination.
100%. It's like the ghost runner on second. I don't need baseball. I don't need a random game in the middle of August between the Mets and the Padres to be expedited. 8 hours. Like, get that shit over with. But in the playoffs, those games need to go as long as possible, like as long as they need in the purest form of the game. This is news to me, and I'm fucking pumped. Jules said between Sean's speech and Tim's bringing back Roll Up the Rim today with real roll up rims, I think it's going to be a good week. Roll Up the Rim is the greatest, except for when they're cheating the people. Parson, I believe this is our last one, says Megan Keller is the better of the two Kellers. Listen, I love Clayton Keller. I don't. Thankfully, I know absolutely nothing about where his politics are. But yeah, I mean, Megan Keller played more than 45 seconds. So
I was going to say not to make the women's thing, the women's game about the men's game, and vice versa. But if we're just comparing two hockey players, impact.
Only one of them had
Megan
one.
Keller, I would say, had a slightly bigger impact.
Renee Maldonado.
You know, that gold's still gold. They both got gold.
That is true. Renee Maldonado sent another super chat saying, trying to extend the show as long as possible.
We thank you so much for everyone who is super chatting. Here's the thing. We face a bottleneck because we are not in studio right now. So Sean is going to have to download the videos of this show, the individual videos, mine, Pete's, his own, upload them so I can download them, and then we can begin working on the videos. We have to end this fucking show because the longer it goes, the bigger the files get, the longer it's going to take for him to upload them, and we're never going to get anything out. And we want to get back to doing normal episodes tomorrow. Hopefully we'll be in studio. It will be a blast. This has been such a fun episode, boys.
I wouldn't say fun is the word that I would jump to immediately, but
it was a good episode.
When I said fun, I was like, I don't want like DJ's idea of having fun, and that's us being like Kash Patel.
I think that the annoying parts and the required parts of this podcast were rewarded to a degree that I did not expect in terms of the way that Sean delivered and the way that the chat reacted to Sean's delivery.
Yes.
Yeah, we do have to end this episode because I do have to go force my wife to shovel the driveway.
You have to supervise.
That's right. It's not. It's never going to get shoveled if Pete can't get out there and tell his wife to shovel.
That's right.
All right. Love everybody so much. Make sure you're subscribed everywhere. But this is a big day for really appreciating the community. And we hope that everybody really enjoyed the Olympics because this was such a good tournament. Appreciate everybody. We will talk to you tomorrow.
Yeah, by the way, like the U.S. men's team is going to 11 tonight, so there will be no news to report on tomorrow that we won't have to crash out over again. So we'll see you tomorrow, everybody.
If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to What Chaos here on YouTube. You will get everything, daily episodes, player interviews, and so much more. It's all here on the What Chaos YouTube. Hit subscribe.